चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी। बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश बिकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवारि सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ ब्रज और ध्वजा बिराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे अस कहीं श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कौबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपत दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माहि जलधि लांगी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरहि हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गुसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूटहि बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होए सिद्ध साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा की जय नाथ। हृदय महडेरा। पवन तने संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान। आज we are starting Venu Geet. It is like the music is now beginning. Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran has 12 skand, right? 12 skand hai. Usme now we are in Dasham skand. Dasham skand is the Nirodh Leela, right? Nirodh Leela. In Nirodh Leela, the main objective is to detach from the world and attach to our Lord, to direct all our attachments towards the Lord, right? And now we have started Venu Geet, that is the 21st chapter. And in 21st chapter, what is Venu? Venu is the beautiful flute of Sri Krishna. And the music that comes out of the flute of Sri Krishna is known as the Venu Geet. And we can just imagine, we all know, right, कि प्रभु अवतार लेते हैं, right? This conviction has to be very strong कि भगवान आते हैं. Time and again, he takes avatar and he comes in various different forms. कभी कहते हैं ना, कभी राम बन के, कभी श्याम बन के, चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना. It's a beautiful verse. It goes on. कभी श्याम रूप में आना, कभी गोपी बन के, कभी हनुमान बन के, जिस भी रूप में आपको आना है, आप आना ज़रूर. एंड ही कम्स, वो एक सत्य है. अब वो कैसे आएंगे, कब आएंगे, वी डू नॉट नो. राइट नाउ ही हैज़ कम इन द फॉर्म ऑफ श्री कृष्ण, राइट? कहते हैं ना, श्री कृष्ण भगवान स्वयं. He came, and that is why we never say the Lord is born. We say Prabhu prakat hoye. The words are very beautifully used. Prabhu prakat hoye. You know, bhay prakat kripala, deen dayala. Like that, prakat hoye. Because he is beyond the cycle of life and death, isn't it? He is adi anadi kaal se wo hai. He is always there. And he decides to take any form and come to be amongst us. And that is why it is called an avatar. So this doubt कि भगवान नहीं आते हैं या कृष्ण भगवान नहीं थे, ये दिमाग में कभी नहीं आना चाहिए. Or if he can come in the form of Krishna, Ram, why can't he come in any other form for us? And in fact, for Prahlad alone, and of course for Hiranyakashipu also, I must say, he took the form of Narasimha avatar. Ek jane ke liye, you know, that is the avatar which was taken only to save Prahlad and liberate Hiranyakashipu. He comes. And when we have this conviction कि भगवान आते हैं, that is why whenever we are talking about Shri Krishna, we say his Leela. Because he is not tied in the cycle of life and birth. He is not tied in the cycle of karma like we are. We say it is his Leela. He knows कि this is just a play. लीला यही होती है ना, ड्रामा, प्ले. तो प्रभु की लीला बोलते हैं. Because he is enacting it. Whenever somebody has a doubt, be it Ma Sati or be it Brahmaji, he clarifies it also. When Ma Sati thought कि ये राम भगवान नहीं हो सकते, है ना, Again, we know the entire thing. He clarified it for her by showing her multiple swaroops of him in multiple galaxies and multiple universes. And then she said, oh my God, I doubted him, right? And as Krishna also, when Brahmaji doubts कि भगवान कैसे आ सकते हैं, right? वो परब्रह्म कैसे आ सकता है? He does not need our permission. We do not have to. When he does not need Brahmaji's permission, who are we to give him permission? He can come in any form. He wants to come in a form of a beautiful marble statue, he will come. He wants to come in a form of a child, he'll come. He will come, and he can come only for me also. That conviction has to be there to understand the Dasham Skand of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. अगर आपको विश्वास नहीं है कि परब्रह्म आते हैं, कृष्ण भगवान है, then आपके लिए भागवत नहीं है. In Kalyug, he has come in the form of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. Bhagavad Swam, he has come in form of the Bhagavad himself. Right? So, for those who do not believe that Shri Krishna is Bhagavan, Bhagavad is irrelevant for them. Because that bhav will not come. That feeling will not come. That love will not come. Because there is a doubt कि ये भगवान है या नहीं है. ऐसा हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता. क्यों नहीं हो सकता? Right? And this is praman. Shastra are praman. Praman means these are evidences. Shastra praman hai. Historical evidence. All sort of evidences are there to prove कि Krishna आए थे. But for us to believe that he was Bhagwan is going to be a different level of bhav that we have to have in him. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. And वो लीला कर रहे हैं. He is doing so many leelas. He is walking on the bridge on that sand of Vrindavan. That is why we say, na, Vrindavan is holier than Vaikuntha Dham itself, because Krishna वहाँ भागे हैं. That Parabrahm has gone, he's lived there. He swam in the Yamuna. He was there pratyaksh. So that is why the Mahima of Vrindavan is more than Vaikuntha Dham. Because Shri Krishna was there. And if he was there for the gopis, he was there for the gopas, he was there for the cows and the sages at that time, he can and he will come for me also. But that depth of longing has to be there. Itna akarshan. When you look at Venu Geet and when you look at the gopis talking, they when they listen to the flute, Shri Krishna has, now just imagine, beautifully the summer weather has gone, winter has arrived, autumn and the rainy season are over, and now it's the winter season. Everything is so fresh and clean. The water is free from all mud. Lotuses are blooming everywhere. It's nice and lush. It's green. And in this beautiful Vrindavan, next to Yamuna, Shri Krishna decides to stand along, with his back on the tree, and he picks up his flute. The cows are grazing, Balramji is there, and it is very beautiful. And Shri Krishna just picks up his flute because he wants to play the beautiful music. And this flute is very dear to him. He never parts with the flute. Always this flute is there with him. In fact, Ma Radha got annoyed. She said, what is it? Why? Your flute is dearer to you than I am. He said, yes. My flute. He would become restless if somebody would take away his flute. Such was the love for this flute. And he picks up this flute and he starts playing the beautiful melody that comes out, reaches every corner of Vrindavan, every house of Vrindavan, every heart of Vrindavan. And the gopis, they are normal women, gaon ki ladies. They are doing their chores. And while whatever they are doing, while cooking, while washing their dishes, while tending to their husband or their children or their in-laws or their parents, while doing grazing, taking care of the fields, suddenly this flute, the music of the flute reaches their ear. And they go into a trance there and then. They go into a total trance when the music of the flute reaches their ear. Wherever they are, they just feel as though they have been transported to Sri Krishna. They feel as if they are standing next to him. They are sitting near him and he's playing the flute. And at that time, all the gopis just come out of their house and they listen to the beautiful music. And they are short of words to express the joy they are feeling in their heart. And one gopi starts talking to the other gopi. The flute, the music of this flute is so beautiful. It is just hypnotizing me. What do I do? And while the conversation is happening, there is silence suddenly because nobody wants to disrupt the music of the flute. And when suddenly one gopi asks, why is it that Sri Krishna loves his flute so much? Why is it that there is such beautiful melody that comes out of this flute? Why is she so lucky and we are not? She gets to be with him all the time. When he sleeps also, he holds on to her and he puts her under his pillow. Wherever he goes, he keeps her very close to his heart. And whenever he feels like, he wants to mesmerize everybody, he picks her up, puts her on his lips. Just imagine how lucky she is to be touched by Sri Krishna's lips. And he starts putting all his fingers and he plays the beautiful music. Why is this flute so lucky? And the other gopi answers, this flute is not an ordinary flute. She has gone through so much. Gone through so much? Just these gopis are talking. अब क्या होता है ना, सीधी सी बात है, जो भक्त होता है ना, उसको भगवान के अलावा कोई और बात करनी अच्छी भी नहीं लगती और आती भी नहीं है. Because they say, right, the true purpose of our mouth, our eyes, and the gopis will also say later, is only Hari Katha, Hari Charcha. बाकी सब व्यर्थ है. बाकी every minute you utter something else other than the Lord's name is a wasted time wasted. And life is precious and very short. We do not know कब अंतिम समय आ जाएगा. So these gopis were totally conscious about it and all they could talk about was Sri Krishna himself. And she said, this flute. And they are kind of jealous of the flute because the importance that the flute gets, nobody else gets. And notice one more thing. So far we have talked about so many Krishna Leelas and we are going to talk about Ras and everything, but nowhere the mention of Radhaji will come. In the whole of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, which we will also witness, it is said that Ma Radha's name is never mentioned. Why? Because Ma Radha was Shukdev Ji's guru. He used to take her as his guru. Now, who is Shukdev Ji? आप सोचिए Ma Radha, she was a gopi, one of the gopis. And look at the importance of this gopi. Look at the stature given to this gopi. कहते हैं ना उस गोपी का दर्जा देखो. Shukdev Ji. And who is Shukdev Ji? Shukdev Ji वो है. Let's do this comparison to understand what Ma Radha is, what these gopis are. They are not ordinary ladies. They are the deepest and the most elevated bhaktas in the whole world. Even the sages, even Shukdev Ji can't compare to her. Shukdev Ji is who? Shukdev Ji was the only one who had the courage to take the asan to liberate Parikshit Ji, right? Parikshit Ji had only 7 days to live. And at that time, he dropped everything and he said, yes, just imagine the tapasya Parikshit Ji must have done, that the minute he realized that I have 7 days left, he could disconnect from the world immediately. He was in this world, but the minute he realized this is it, my time is up, he handed over everything. And that minute only, all he wanted was Hari Katha. He says, no, please, somebody help me to just connect with the Lord. It took him less than a second to disconnect with his wife, with his children, with his kingdom, with all that he had. So for that amount of, to reach that level also, a lot of sadhana is needed. And when he sat down, he put the asan for a guru, and he sat down and he said कि कोई मुझे भागवत सुना दे. Nobody came. Ved Vyasji was there in the Sabha, Agastya Muni was there, Vashishta Guru, Vishwamitra Ji, all the greats and all the great gurus you can think of, all of them were there. But nobody came and took the asan. The question might come, Ved Vyasji has written the Bhagavad. Why couldn't he have just come and narrated it? No. And there from a distance came a young little boy. Chote se the Shukdev Ji. And he came without being called, without being asked. He came quietly and he sat down. And he started narrating the Bhagavad. All the great sages are there. All the celestial beings are there. Parikshit Ji is there. Hanuman Ji is there. Everybody is sitting and listening to this young little boy narrating the beautiful story of the Lord and his devotees. And go a little back. ये शुकदेव जी में ऐसा क्या था जो वेदव्यास जी में नहीं था? Now Shukdev Ji said, I'm done. Now I don't want to carry on living this life. I want to go away now, And Ved Vyas Ji was not willing to let him go. So Ved Vyas Ji is running after Shukdev Ji. And Shukdev Ji is walking. And Shukdev Ji normally did not put anything on him. Ekdam, fully, he was walking. And at a distance, there were a few ladies taking their bath in the river. Right? Their clothes are outside, they are taking a bath in the river, and Shukdev Ji is just walking past. None of them moved. They continued doing what they were doing with this young little boy walking past. They did not even flinch, actually. They continued doing what they were doing. And at that moment, from behind, Ved Vyas Ji, a very old sage, is coming, running, shouting, Shukdev, Shukdev. And the minute they hear him, the minute they see him, they just scatter and rush for their clothes and cover themselves up. Now Ved Vyas Ji is astonished. He asked, my little son, my young son, just went past, and at that time, you did not even move. And when I, a very old man, is passing by, what is the cause of so much shame? And he said, see, there is a big difference. For Shukdev Ji, he does not see us as this body. He sees us that divine Atman. And he himself is that divine Atman. So, when an Atman is in front of the Atman, what is the bhed? There is no difference. But aap mein abhi bhi dehabhas hai. For you can see us as women. That was Shukdev Ji. And who is Shukdev Ji's guru? Radha, a simple gopi of Vrindavan. Who is his guru? Radha. When, who was this? At that time, when Krishna had sent, kya naam tha? Uddhav. Uddhav ko jab bheja tha, you go, these gopis are crying. We'll read about it later. I am not there and these gopis are crying. Why don't you give them a little gyan, They should not cry. What is it? Give them that para brahm ka gyan to dekha ho na? That gyani log baat karte hai na? I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm this, I'm that. Huge gyans which are talked about. Go give them the gyan so that they get liberated. What happened? Uddhav Ji went. And when we go into the detail, we'll realize Uddhav Ji said, you are my guru. He went to give them gyan. He came back after months saying that, what do I know in front of these gopis? They are my guru. So over here, Shukdev Ji has taken Ma Radha to be his guru. And that is why all through the Bhagavad, Radha Rani ka naam kahin nahi aayega. How can he take the name of his guru with his own mouth? And when you start talking about your guru, it is impossible for that karuna and that bhav not to flow. Because if he would have taken Ma Radha Rani's name, there and then he would have stopped because his throat would have choked and only tears would have flown by. And he did not want that. So all through the Bhagavad, Not once Ma Radha's name will be mentioned. Such was his devotion and such was his love towards his Guru. And now just imagine Venu Geet. So these gopis are talking. So these gopis are all these sages, all these tapasvis. They do naman to these gopis. They do naman to these cowherd boys. They wonder कि ऐसा क्या किया था कि कृष्ण स्वयं तुम्हारे पास आ गए, भगवान स्वयं तुम्हारे पास खड़े हैं. What did they do? And we should also ask, what did they do that the Lord came running for them? हमें पता हो तो हम भी कर लें, कृष्ण आ जाए, right? So now they are discussing. Now these gopis are like, what is this? What is the magic of the flute? And they said, ये flute ने बहुत सहा है. She has gone through a lot. And now just imagine the discussion. She said, yes, this flute was a bamboo, right? Flute is made out of bamboos normally. And there are two ways we can take this story. And one beautiful story is that Lord Krishna suddenly came into the garden. And then he was frantically looking around. And this bamboo tree asked, आप किसको ढूंढ रहे हैं? आपको क्या चाहिए? He says, I want to ask you for something. She says, ask, क्या चाहिए? What do you want? He says, it will be very painful. Well, it's okay. Whatever you want, I'm willing to give you. No, it will hurt you a lot. You'll cry. No problem. आप बोलो तो सही आपको क्या चाहिए. Even if you go ahead, I will not say no to anything. Are you very sure? Shri Krishna said, yes, I am willing to go through any extent of pain for your sake, my dear Lord. Go ahead and do as you please. So the Lord cut that bamboo. है ना? उनने bamboo को काटा. And then he cut it into size and then he started scraping it from inside. He wanted to make it hollow and it was very painful. This flute did not utter a word. She, as promised, as she wanted to be useful to the Lord, she did not say anything and the Lord is scraping. The flute did not even cry. The Lord was having tears in his eyes. He was weeping while he was doing his act of scraping and scraping and scraping and scraping till she became totally hollow. But the pain did not end there. He made holes on her. And when the holes were made, the bamboo was totally hollow. He cleaned it with tears in his eyes. And finally, she was ready for him. All through the process of pain, she did not utter a single word. She did not even doubt whether the Lord really cares for her or not. That's, why is he inflicting so much pain on me? She had full faith that whatever the Lord is doing is for the best. There cannot be anything other than that. His intention cannot be other than that. She held on while the scraping was happening, the holes were being made, the painful process, not once doubting in her mind, what have I gotten myself into? Because the love for the Lord was so deep. And when all the entire process was done, he held her and he said, now I'll never let go of you. And through you, my music will reach the world. And the gopis said, look, she is hollow from within. There is no malice in her heart. There is no negativity in her heart. होता है ना, many a times we might be very mellow from outside, but what goes on in her heart? Her heart was pure. No grudges, no hatreds, no gila shikwa. Because there was so much of acceptance as to what the Lord was doing. Only the person who has grudges, who has doubts, who has hatred, is a person who has not accepted the Lord as he is. He has not accepted the will of the Lord. And she has. So she's hollow from within. There is no enmity, no hatred, nothing negative for anybody or anything. She is hollow from within. Totally clean, totally pure, totally hollow. But that does not mean that she is not free from her flaws. One gopi said, see, she has holes. She has holes. She has various holes. But the beauty is, another gopi said, that she is not hiding the holes from the Lord. She is telling him That see, I am not perfect. I have holes. But the way I am, I'm not hiding it from you. I'm offering myself the way I am to you. There is no pretense in her heart that she is perfect. Nothing at all. She is offering that imperfection that she is to the Lord. And she says, see, this is how I am. No pretense in the heart and no doubt about the fact that imperfections will always be there. In spite of all this, she is willing to offer and she is willing to be honest to the Lord. We many a times we say, right? दुनिया में हमें सब दिख जाता है, खुद की गलती कभी नहीं दिखती. एंड जिस दिन आपको खुद की गलती दिखने लगेगी, आपको दूसरों की गलती नहीं दिखेगी. Very important. We can see everything in the world, but we will never be able to find our own fault. And the day we are able to find our own fault, we will stop seeing fault in the world. A very beautiful benchmark. The day, because कहते हैं ना, बुरा देखन मैं चला, बुरा ना दिखया कोई, जब मन झाका आप ना, मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. You'll be so, you say, no, I went around to see who is bad, but I could not find anybody who is negative. Because when I turned towards myself and into my heart, I looked, I realized that there is nobody as wise, as evil as I am. मेरे से बुरा तो कोई है ही नहीं. And when this realization happens, where is the time to waste? You'd be so deep within cleaning yourself. And this flute is saying, I have so many flaws, O Lord, but with my flaws, I still offer myself to you. Hollow, willing to play the music of the Lord the way He wants it to be. And that is why the gopis say, right? That is why this flute is so dear to Him. Look at Him. The Lord's lips are her pillow. And where does she lie? In the palm of His hand. And she has a chhatra also, like that cover, like that chhatra is there. That is the Lord's nose. How protected He keeps her. Isn't it? When He's playing the bansuri, she's lying nicely on His palm. His lips are His pillow, her pillow. And He covers her. He shades her also. And the gopis are saying, Kash, hamari bhi वैसी किस्मत होती. Look at the gopis. In spite of knowing the process, they are saying, I wish I also had that kind of a luck. Knowing that becoming a flute of the Lord is not easy. कहते हैं ना, यह आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना है आपको. But फिर भी अगर आप में चाह है इन गोपियों की तरह, तो why won't Lord make you His flute? But the problem is, one small, little obstacle, and we shout out and complain. So if only one prick makes us shout so loudly, how will the cleansing happen to make us hollow? Just imagine how much she must have felt, how painful it must have felt for that flute to become totally hollow. One prick and we yell. We cannot take anything going against the way we want it to be. And these gopis are really appreciating and they are envying the luck of the flute. And that is why we say, right? See, the way the material world works and the way the spiritual and not even the spiritual, the world of the devotees works in a very different way. For them, material gains and material losses do not matter at all. For them, if anything is increasing their devotion towards the Lord, it is more than welcomed. No matter what or disastrous it might be for the world. That is how devoted a gopi is. And now they go on and we complicate it. We have to understand. Ma Radha, the gopis, they were very simple people. Gaon ke the. I think we are more literate than they were. And the thing is, we confuse it. We complicate it. Have you seen jaggery? If you take up the jaggery, the best test to see whether the jaggery is good or not is what? To actually crush it. And if you crush it and it's not sticky, then the jaggery is very good. I heard this from Kirit Bhaiji. And so I'm taking this example from his katha. And when the jaggery, but what happens? Suppose you crush it and it's not sticky, it's crumbly, it's good. But what happens if you keep crushing it, keep crushing it, keep crushing it, keep crushing it? And then you say to the shopkeeper, your jaggery is not good. He will say, the jaggery is good, but you crushed it so much that you made it sticky. And that is what we all do. The problem is, knowing the Lord, seeing Him, getting Him to meet us is very simple. हम उसको complicated बना देते हैं. And if somebody gives you the simple formula, also we would not agree with it, because unless and until it is complex, it won't work, we think. But it is as simple as taking His name. गोपी क्या करती थी? वो कृष्ण 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 करती थी दिन भर, nothing else. So it is not complicated. We make it complicated. We make it. And in गोपियों का ना, they do not want, they say, I do not want the Brahm of the Gyanis. कहते ना, पर ब्रह्म है आदि अनादि काल से, मुझे चाहिए ही नहीं. I don't want the Brahm of the Gyanis. I want my Krishna. मुझे वो निराकार स्वरूप में जाना ही नहीं है. I don't want to keep crushing till it becomes sticky. I want my साकार Lord. तू तो बस मुझे ऐसे ही दर्शन दे दे, खत्म. कितना कॉम्प्लिकेट करेंगे हम समझ के इसको, ये जार्गन वो जार्गन, ये सब वो सब कर करके we make him unattainable. And a poor sadhak gets scared. No, it's very easy. He is attainable right now, right this minute. अगर शुकदेव जी, that great ज्ञानी की गुरु माँ राधा हो सकती है, उद्धव जी की गुरु गोपियां हो सकती हैं, तो then it cannot be so difficult, isn't it? Because for knowing the Lord, for loving the Lord, all you need is bhav. You do not need gyan. You have to have that emotion for the Lord. Does it happen that your eyes become full of tears when you're thinking about the Lord? होता है क्या कि आंसू आ जाते बैठे ही? When you're thinking about the Lord and you're thinking about His mercy, you start weeping and crying, your throat starts choking. That is all that is needed. Because कहते हैं ना, प्रभु भाव के भूखे. He does not want all that औपचारिकता that we do, that all the samagri has to be there, this samagri has to, कुछ नहीं. You just offer your tears. You join your hands and offer your tears. He does not even want words, because once you have that bhav, your throat is going to choke, nothing is going to come out. So Shri Krishna bhav ke bhuke hain, and wo bhav in gopiyon mein hai. And these gopis are describing the luck and the beauty of the flute. They are saying, I know, they tell Uddhav, what nirakar, ye, wo, gyan, don't talk about this nonsense to us. हम तो सीधे साधे भक्त हैं, हमें तो हमारा कृष्ण चाहिए. वो नाचता हुआ, दौड़ता हुआ, बात करता हुआ, वैसा कृष्ण चाहिए हमें. हमें तुम्हारा निराकार ब्रह्म समझ नहीं आता. So simple. And they do not even want mukti. These gopis don't want anything. That is the beauty of these gopis. They don't want mukti. The flute did not want liberation. The process that was happening and that she was going through was not for liberation, was not for mukti, was not for moksha, was not for knowledge. It was just for the love of the Lord. किसको चाहिए मुक्ति? They say, right, there are 5 kinds of liberations. Salokya, where you stay in the same planet with the Lord. Then there is Sarsti, where you have that equal glow and opulence like the Lord. The third is Samapya, when you are close to the Lord. And Sarupya, exactly the same. कहते हैं ना, शंकर चक्र पदा शंकर चक्र गदा and Padma हाथ में. And many times in Bhagavad we have seen, he was liberated like this, he was liberated. All these 5 kinds of muktis will come. And Sayujya, where you merge. That is what the Gyanis say, na? I want to merge into the Lord. I want to get rid of the cycle of life and death and forget about it. No, but these gopis don't even want that. They say कि बार बार जन्म लेना है. Vrij bhumi में again and again give me birth. If you do not want to make me a human, make me an animal, make me a squirrel, make me a leaf. But just let me be born in Vrij, where Shri Krishna is going to run and play. I do not want any of your liberations. I do not want mukti. मुझे तो कृष्ण चाहिए. Unfortunately, ज्ञानी को भी भगवान किसके लिए चाहिए? मुक्ति के लिए चाहिए. भगवान के लिए तो किसी को भगवान चाहिए ही नहीं. So this is the gopi, the mahima of the gopis, the mahima of Radha Rani is beyond words. Very simple. Yet very, very deep. And they, now just imagine, they are describing, and now Sri Krishna is going, the winter weather is here. And imagine he's standing there playing his flute. And they are here in their houses doing their work. Their heart has been transported to Lord Krishna. And they're talking about him. All they can do is, while whatever they are doing, they are connected to him, they are talking to him. They can constantly listen to the music of the flute. That state can be reached. हम कुछ भी कर रहे हो. We do not have to be seated in the puja room all the time. No, whatever you are doing, wherever you are, the music of the flute should be coming to your ear all the time. And Shri Krishna, 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 that yearning for the Lord should never fade away. There is so much noise in this world right now, isn't it? So much noise, so much is happening. So much is happening in our little houses also. Yet, the one who is able to maintain the music of the flute in his ears, Krishna in his heart, while all the commotion is taking place, acting yet connected, is a gopi. गोपी कोई साधु संत नहीं थी, तपस्या कुछ भी नहीं की. They were normal ladies, normal women, normal people. But always connected to Shri Krishna, no matter what. And while he's playing the flute, again, she says, look at him, he is not stopping. And this flute, she's always so noisy. Can't she stay quiet? Now she's saying, why can't she stay quiet? Now gopis are complaining about the flute because they are jealous, right? Why is the flute? And they're saying, why can't she stay quiet? I agree. She is very, very, Krishna loves her very much, but why can't she stay quiet? She said, wo thodi bol rahi hai kuch. Who is talking? It is Krishna's music that is coming out because her astitva is not there anymore. She does not exist anymore. Whatever Shri Krishna does comes through her. She's just an instrument now. So it is not she who is quiet or not quiet. It is him who he wants to play through her all the time. And that is why the music is so melodious. Because when she does not exist, Shri Krishna is able to execute the way he wants. Just imagine a flute decides to play his own music. How will a person who is playing the flute get the symphony in place? No, the flute does not interfere. And that is how one has to become to be so dear to the Lord. Empty from within, no negativity. A lot of flaws which are offered to the Lord. Kehte hai na ki, what do I do? I'm full of flaws. But this is the way I am. You help clean me. And then always in total surrender of whatever the Lord's will, may it be executed through me. Such divine is the flute. So divine is the flute. And then the gopis are like, see, he's playing. And then they describe, he's standing there, he's playing. And Venu Geet, word by word, verse by verse, if we'll do it some other time, is so deep. They start talking about, look at the peacocks. Peacocks are dancing, they say, right? The peacocks are dancing when they are listening to the music. Look at the cows. While the cows were grazing and suddenly the music started playing, they were chewing the grass and they stopped midway. As if they had been transported they stopped eating. The grass is half chewed and half unchewed, and they are just standing there with their mouth open, looking at the Lord, playing the flute, forgotten everything of their own existence, and milk is pouring out. Milk of love is pouring out, and this milk is pouring out so much that it goes into the Yamuna. And it goes into the Yamuna and forms. Now, Yamuna is very dark, right? Yamuna kari hoti hai. So this white milk is as if that Yamuna has been dressed up with a beautiful sari. And then the trees are so overwhelmed by the music that the flowers start falling on Yamuna. She's dressed in a sari with all the beautiful ornaments in the form of the flowers. And look at her. The waves are going up and down, up and down, up and down, as if Yamuna is just reaching out for her beloved Krishna to just hug him. She's reaching out, reaching out. The waves look as if the Yamuna is reaching out to her beloved Krishna. Look at the beauty of Yamuna when the flute starts playing. And Yamuna is one of Sri Krishna's wife, right? Look at her. Look at this. And not only this, the other gopi says, look, the celestial beings in the sky, all the beautiful, fairies and everybody over there, they have stopped. They are also in a trance, looking down, and the flowers from their hair are falling on Sri Krishna. And the birds, the koyal, she was chirping and she stopped because she did not know how to match the melody of the flute. She just stopped chirping. Totally. And another gopi said, do you know who these birds are? These birds are those great sages who have been sitting for thousands and thousands of years with their nose and eyes closed. The minute they found out that Bhagwan Swayam is coming down, they took the form of the birds, the trees, the sparrows, the bees, and they came rushing down to get a glance of him. All the birds that you see are no other than the great, great, great sages who have done thousands and thousands of years of tapasya, yet they have not been able to reach the end of the Lord. And the sun is shining bright, but the clouds, they flow and they just cover the sun so that the sun is totally blocked, so that Sri Krishna's legs, the feet, because in Vrindavan, Sri Krishna never wore footwear. It is said that he never wore footwear, he never wore stitched clothes. He never wore footwear. Basically, many of great devotees, when they reach Vrindavan Dham, till they are in Vrindavan Dham, they will not put on their footwear. Because Krishna the wahan pe. And these clouds are no other than the Vaishnavas who have come to shield their Lord from the sun. They are those devotees, they are the Vaishnavas who have come so that the heat of the sun does not fall on Sri Krishna. Or aisa hota hai. Just imagine, the same Vyakhyan has come in Ramayan. When Ramji was passing through, the earth, the sun was a little staunch somehow. So Ramji managed, a little shielding happened, a little did not happen. But later Ramji found out Bharat is coming. When Ramji found out Bharat is coming, he told the clouds, he told the earth, he said, listen, you have to be tender to my brother. Make sure that there is no heat, the ground is smooth, there is no thorn, there is no sunlight which makes the land hot. Make a canopy, clouds, so that my Bharat does not feel the pain that I felt when I was reaching here. And the clouds abided. It is said the journey was so treacherous for Ma Sita and Ramji and Lakshman, but it was so melodious, so smooth and so beautiful for Bharat. It was breezy, there was no sun, the ground, Mother Earth took in all the thorns because Bharat was passing. Such was the love between Ramji and Bharat. And over here, the canopy has been formed and the sun is not getting through so that Sri Krishna's legs don't burn. They're saying these are the Vaishnavas. And suddenly, while he's so busy playing, and just imagine, he is dark, Balramji is, totally light. He has Pitambari on him and Balramji is dressed in Nilambari and they are looking so beautiful. He is playing the flute and Balramji is sitting and listening. And suddenly, the cows run. And they climb the Govardhan Parvat. And Balramji and Krishna run after the cows. Gange, Gauri, Ruko, they are running after the cows. And the cow is just rushing through. And at that time, Sri Krishna and Balram go over the Govardhan Parvat. And the Parvat feels so touched that it is as if goose flesh, all his hair are standing erect in the form of the trees and the grass that we can see. And the stream of water that is flowing down through the Govardhan Parvat are tears in his eyes that are falling down because the Lord has come to meet him. The trees are his hair standing erect, and the streams are the water, the tears of love that is flowing down. And then he takes them into the tunnel that is his heart and feeds them fruits and kandamul and all that fruits. And the Lord abides. The Govardhan Parvat is overwhelmed. The streams start flowing so much, and so the water is gushing because he cannot hold his tears anymore. Because the Lord has come. The Lord has come. And these gopis, they just do not know how to go and just meet and just be with him. But then that realization is there that Krishna is always with me. A gopi says, right, where has Krishna gone? Krishna is me and I am Krishna. There is no difference. Krishna is me and I am Krishna. The Venu Geet, this is known as the Venu Geet. At this Venu Geet, it is said that if we chant the Venu Geet regularly, the devotion towards Sri Krishna becomes very deep. And these gopis, while they are talking about, just imagine they're here. Sri Krishna is there and they're visualizing the entire beauty. And their eyes start watering. And then the other gopi says, what is the use of this eye if it is not used to look at the Lord? अगर भगवान को देखने में ही काम नहीं आ रही है तो इस आँख का और कोई काम ही नहीं है. It is useless, it is worthless, it is not worth having. That is the importance of the Lord to the gopis. Everything that they do is only for the Lord. आंखें प्रभु को देखने के लिए, हाथ सेवा करने के लिए, पैर उनके पास जाने के लिए, कान to listen to his flute, to listen to his music, to listen to him smile, to listen to him laugh, to listen to his katha and his glories. What is the use of a human body and all the senses that we have if they are not totally directed towards the Lord and they are scattered around in the world? The gopi says they are useless then. It is not worth having them if they are not used for the Lord and seeing him. Such deep devotion these gopis have. And in Venu Geet, step by step, word by word, everything is describing the glory of the Lord. She says, look at him. How beautiful he looks. His eyes are like lotus. He has a peacock feather on his head. He has this Vaijayanti mala. And look at that yellow cloth. It looks so beautiful with his dark skin. And the way he looks with a side glance and the mischief on his face, it is imprinted in my heart, another gopi says. I can't think, every time I feel as though he's giving me that glance. All I can think about is his smile. All I can think about is the mischief on his face. And they're gathered here talking about him. And they are transported to a different world of ecstasy. Ecstasy. And what better can liberation, mukti, be any better than the state they are in right now? Nothing. Nothing is compared. They say, निराकार नहीं, मुझे तो साकार चाहिए. मुझे तू ऐसे ही चाहिए. And ये hut होती है. This is called a bhakt ki hut. When Prahlad made that hut, Sri Krishna, Narasimha Avatar came. The problem is, we do not make that hut. Hut होता है that जिद कि no, I want to see you right now, right this minute, right this birth, now. मैं को नहीं वेट करना हजारों साल. मैं क्यों हूँ तुम्हारे पास, तुम आओ मेरे पास. पर वो हट ही नहीं है हमारे में. तड़प नहीं है. Why? Because all our senses are scattered around. Our heart is not for the Lord. We have given our heart to multiple people. My heart is with my daughter, my heart is with my son, my heart is with my husband, my heart is with my parents, my heart is with this. My heart can be broken by anybody. My heart is with everybody but with the Lord. My eyes are on everybody but on the Lord. My mouth speaks everything but about the Lord. My ear hears everything but about the Lord. My hands do everything but not the service. And my legs travel everywhere but not towards the Lord. And फिर हम बोलते हैं भगवान आते हैं क्या? नहीं, हमारे जैसे लोगों के लिए नहीं आते और नहीं आएंगे. गोपी बनना पड़ेगा उसके लिए. एंड दैट इज वाई कहते हैं ना, हनुमान जी को भी क्या बोलते हैं, इफ समबडी रियली रियली वांट्स टू रिस्पेक्ट हिम एंड हिज भक्ति, इट इज सेड हनुमान जी वाज वन ऑफ द गोपीज. दैट इज द लेवल ऑफ अ गोपी. हनुमान जी वॉज वन ऑफ द गोपीज. उनकी तुलना गोपी से की जाती है टू शो द लेवल ऑफ डिवोशन ही हैड. दिस इज अ गोपी. This is the power of Venu Geet. And this is something that should make us think. Are we anywhere near the way the gopis were? Or are we anyway willing to be like the flute? Very thought-provoking thing, right? इच्छा है क्या? The problem is हमें willingness नहीं है. We don't want it. We want संसार. We do not want भगवान. We want our sansar to be happy at the expense of not getting to him also. And he says, Tathastu. That is the beauty about the Lord. Whatever you want, he'll give. Tathastu. ये हो जाना चाहिए, तथास्तु. वो जाना चाहिए, तथास्तु. And for the one who wants him, he says tathastu also. This is the Venu Geet. Any doubts, any questions, any thoughts? Any thoughts? Nothing? No thoughts? Anything that you want to share? And the Venu Geet has also come after. See, in the Bhagavad, there is a big sequence. 9 skand के बाद में, दशम स्कंद के बाद में भी, look at the beauty. The demons have been destroyed. So much effort has been put in. This is a journey of a sadhak. The entire Bhagavad is the journey of a sadhak. It is a manuscript of a sadhak as to what has to be done. It's like a step-by-step guide. And then comes the Dasham Skand, the heart of the Bhagavad. Then comes Venu Geet. Because अब वेणु गीत के बाद वाली जो लीला समझनी है ना, उसके लिए we have to be ready. नहीं तो समझ ही नहीं आएगी. People have misinterpreted it so much. For us to understand what is going to happen next, we have to be established in the state of a gopi. See, many a times we want to learn about the Lord. We want to learn His Gita. We want to learn His teachings. But we have to be very mindful that unless and until we can develop an affection or a liking or a slight understanding about the Lord, what He is telling us will not enter or will not agree with us at all. We would not understand. Unless and until we can love Him, we would not understand what He's saying. But we want to listen to other things. We want to do a lot of things without developing that true love towards the Lord. नहीं होगा. अनलेस एंड अनटिल देयर इज अ कन्विक्शन, यस यस, वो आए, वो है, वो भगवान है, अभी भी आ सकते हैं. This beautiful bhajan, isn't it? This bhajan in itself is very beautiful. I think I've sent it. Let's just go through this bhajan. I wish I had a better voice, but why not? Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallabham Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallabham. कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, हम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, गोपियों की तरह हम नचाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. कौन कहते हैं भगवान रीझते नहीं, राधा रानी के जैसे रिझाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं, राधा रानी के जैसे रिझाते नहीं. गोपियों की तरह हम नचाते नहीं, बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं. और मीरा के जैसे भुलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. कृष्ण गोविंद गोपाल गाते चलो, कृष्ण गोविंद गोपाल गाते चलो. नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो, नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो. कृष्ण गोविंद गोपाल गाते चलो, नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो, नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो. याद आएगी उनको कभी ना कभी, याद आएगी उनको कभी ना कभी. दर्शन देंगे हमें भी कभी ना कभी, दर्शन देंगे हमें भी कभी ना कभी. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. भक्ति एंड भाव से बोध हो जाएगा, नथिंग इज नीडेड. और जहां हो वहीं होगा. कौन प्रमाण है? गोपियां प्रमाण है. गोपियां are the proof that Shri Krishna will come where I am, while what I am doing Nothing has to change. कहते ना, कृष्ण गोविंद गोपाल गाते चलो, कृष्ण गो काम करते चलो, नाम जपते चलो, काम करते चलो, नाम जपते चलो. This is the beauty of Venu Geet. And this is the Mahima of the flute. Venu Geet. The music of that flute. That divine flute. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram. Any doubts, any thoughts, anything? So, we will close the session. We will resume again in April mid. है ना? Because we'll take a mini break. And with this thought in our mind that nothing in our life has to change. See, the problem nowadays has happened is we have been brainwashed into believing. In fact, why should I use my words? Before we close the session, just along with the bhakti, that conviction has to be there, that nothing has to be different in me to attain the Lord. This is. And Shivanand Swami, he himself, a great sannyasi. He was a doctor and then he left everything to become a sannyasi. But what does he say over here? Just to reinforce what we have learned from the life of the gopis. Householder's life is also a life of yoga. It is also a life of brahmacharya. It is a life of brahmacharya in the sense it is a life of self-restraint and indulgence in moderation. We have always thought that the householder's life is something against sadhana. He says no. He says we have always thought that the householder's life is something against sadhana. He says no. That is not true. The life of a sannyasi can be compared. Now he says the comparison we always have been used to making has to change now. The life of a sannyasi can be compared to an ocean if a life of a householder is compared to a small drop. And many people say, right, the sannyasi is a blazing sun if the householder is like a flame of candle. But these comparisons are true only between an ideal sannyasi and a deluded, ignorant and passionate householder. These comparisons are only true if the sannyasi is an ideal sannyasi. As per our shastra, there are a lot of our sannyasi cannot have an ashram. The sannyasi cannot stay in one place. The sannyasi cannot do any kind of sangraya. Sannyasi cannot have a lot of things. So an ideal sannyasi, yes. And a deluded, ignorant and passionate householder, yes, this comparison is okay. But an ideal householder is equal to a sannyasi. An ideal householder is equal to a sannyasi. Just like the gopis. An ideal householder is equal to a sannyasi. All glory to the householder who keeps realization as his ultimate aim. जैसे गोपियों ने श्री कृष्ण को अपना हृदय में बसा रखा था. No matter what, they were householders, right? But Krishna was their ultimate aim. All glory to that householder who keeps realization as his ultimate aim. He is the ideal of the Gita. He practices nivritti, renunciation in pravriti, life in the world. He or she practices renunciation, that is nivritti, in pravriti, in life in the world. The householder's life is based on anasakti, non-attachment. The householder should not have no cravings. His is a life dedicated to service. Such a householder is a sannyasi. Such a householder is a sannyasi. A householder is equal to a sannyasi. All glory to that householder who keeps renunciation as his ultimate aim. God as his ultimate aim. He is ideal of the Gita. He practices nivritti and pravriti. The householder's life is based on anasakti. The householder should not have no cravings. His is a life dedicated to service. Such a householder is a sannyasi. The words of Shivanand Swami. So Shivanand Swami is the founder. A sannyasi, was a doctor, and he started the Divine Life Society, and he is the Diksha Guru of Chinmayananda ji and many such sages. Right? So Shiksha Guru was Tapovan Maharaj, and Diksha Guru is Chinmayananda ji. And when a sannyasi himself is declaring, so this from the gopis, from today's session, bhakti definitely, but this inferiority complex has to go. The householder has to gather and get the act right. Just because we are in the sansar, that does not mean we can do what we want. Being in the sansar, then that also does not mean that we have to leave the sansar to attain the Lord. Being here, attainment of the Lord is possible. Being a grihast, you can become the greatest of sannyasis. How? He has clearly explained. And that were the gopis. Those were the gopis. Those gopis, गोपी के कहने पे वो थन थन करके नाचते थे श्री कृष्ण. गोपी ने इशारा कर दिया तो नाच लिए. गोपी ने शिकायत कर दी तो डंडा पड़ गया. भगवान स्वयं, that Lord who came down, used to dance the way they used to make him dance. Who were they? Simple householders, simple wives, simple ladies, simple villagers. ताता थैया वो कृष्ण को कराती थी. तो जब गोपी करा सकती है तो क्या हम नहीं करा सकते? And today being the Women's Day, it's a coincidence, I did not think about it. We as women should realize the power that we have. The men take care of the future, present, but we shape the future. Long back, when one lady insisted that the way you narrate the stories to the children, you have to narrate to us also. I said, no, I can't. I just narrate it to the children. But she said, you are reading 5-6 years back. You are reading original scriptures. So just narrate it that way. I said, okay, I'll try. And when I told my dad, my father, Papa, he says, don't waste your time. He literally, these were the blunt words. He said, don't waste your time. Focus on the children. I said, why are you saying this? Don't waste your time on them. Focus on the children. I said, why? पक्के घड़े हैं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. पक्के घड़े हैं तो कितना भी चिल्लाएगी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, उनको समझ भी नहीं आएगा. बच्चों पे ध्यान दे. Those are the soft clays. Mold them. They can be molded. The older people cannot be molded. Don't waste your time. And then I said, listen, Papa, but these are the hands which shape that soft clay. Reaching them is important. One by one person at a time, because these are the mothers who are going to shape those children. So it is not a waste of time. And that I can never forget. So we have to understand how important we are. Our role in the society is so important. And we cannot mindlessly live thoughtfully. The responsibility on our shoulders is beyond what we can imagine. It was a gopi which gave birth to those Gwalbals, right? Who were totally in love with the Lord. Only a mother who was a devotee can inculcate that devotion to the Lord in her child. Nobody else can. Because that is what the children see. If you make God a reality in your house, when you say, no, Shri Krishna Bhagwan hai, हमारे भगवान आते हैं, He takes different forms in different times. वो कृष्ण बन के आए, वो कृष्ण भगवान ही है. That conviction, that belief if we have, then only will the children have that belief, right? हमारे में ही नहीं है. We don't make God alive in our houses. If we awaken God in our houses, He will be awakened in their heart also. He has to be a living reality in our house. What we want them to become has to be a living reality of us. And that is the future, that is the power of a woman. And coincidentally, today is Women's Day. We have talked about the power a gopi has. A flute is a she. They never said a flute is a he. The power we have, and we are not exercising it. We have the power to make this world a better place. And consciously, if we execute, when we shape them one by one, bit by bit, the world will become beautiful. कहते हैं ना, सत्युग आप नहीं आएगा, सत्युग को हमें लाना पड़ेगा. There is, we say कि automatically the chakra goes on. No. Kalyug, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kalyug, then Satyug. No. Every soul has to elevate itself. Every being has to elevate itself. From the Kalyug that we are in, to Dwapar, to Treta, to Satyug. जितने लोग elevate होंगे उतना ही तो तभी तो सत्युग आएगा ना. It is not just by the cycle. Every person has to awaken for Satyug to come. So we have the power in our hands to awaken not only ourselves, but to awaken the next generation. Are we exercising that power? Are we teaching them the true teachings of the Gita? The true and the right way to live? Or are we just showing them what we have been shown most of the time? That everything else is secondary, material world is primary. We have to assess. We have to assess. So happy Women's Day to all of you. Jai Shri Krishna. Yes.
I think we're the same.
Thank you. So let's close the class. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. बोलो बजरंग बली की जय. जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान.